is like Barbie feels like, I can't tell you how I feel because then you're telling me I'm a bitch. If I don't say how I feel and I'm not this overly happy, bubbly person, then I'm being passive aggressive and I'm not being nice and whatever. So it's like you said at the beginning, he only wants her to be like fake, bubbly, nice all the time. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Below Deckspurts, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And today we're recapping Below Deck, Season 11, Episode 10, Grenadian Nightmare.
Grenadian Nightmare. Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah, it was for multiple reasons. Yeah, this was just like a not great episode. Not that it wasn't entertaining. It was an entertaining episode.
I mean, I'm dyslexic, so I thought they said grenade nightmare.
That would have been
I was
totally different story. Yeah.
I was pinned to the screen.
Somebody finds a grenade.
And it just...
Yep. Yeah, they're like, what is this? And they pull it and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God. Oh, we need a new chef.
Poor chef.
He would be the one to pull it.
He would.
He'd be like, guys, he's fine.
He would.
But then everyone would be like, we wanted Dylan to do it.
We literally put it there so...
Yeah, the producers, like, we put it there.
No, that's mean. That's really mean.
Yeah, I won't go on with the bit.
Oh,
they put a
man.
bunch of dumbbells around a grenade tied to a dumbbell.
No. The dumbbell's tied to the grenade, so when he curls it...
He's like, finally, I'm happy.
Such a stupid bit.
It was funny, though.
All right. So the way our episodes work is that we start with a question for each other based upon this week's episode, since we don't watch the episode together, and then we get into the episode and focus on 2 to 4 main points throughout. So the question I have for you today is, were you pleasantly surprised by Paris, the new stew?
Yes.
I was too.
Yes.
I hope it stays that way. I mean, we have to preface this by saying we've only seen her in like half of an episode, but it seemed like, the way she handled that situation with Barbie and Fraser, respect.
Yeah.
She totally could have jumped on Fraser's bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
Because they kind of knew each other, and he's the chief stew. So it's like, she could have been like, yeah, fuck Barbie, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
So I was impressed by that.
No, yeah, she was very impressive. I think I feel like we would be friends with her, is the way I would put it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that, because she's just kind of like, yeah, I'm a little crazy, but I'm not going to fuck anyone over.
Yes.
I'm not going to be that person. I want to help out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like she's trying to get on like anyone's good side, not trying to kiss up to anybody.
Yeah.
It just seems like she's like, okay, I'm in this situation now. I should probably just make it better for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, she seems really go with the flow, and again, not quick to just jump on a bandwagon. She was there for Barbie. She's trying to like be in the middle. She was like kind of funny, but she's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to fuck anybody over, which I believe her. I think, we'll see what happens, but I don't think... My prediction is if something happens with Sunny and Ben, it's not on Paris. It's going to be on Ben, which is what we see at the end of the episode.
I was just going to say that. I think Ben's going to go after her.
Right.
She's in the right, and Sunny's going to get pissed at Ben.
Yeah. So you can see the writing on the wall.
Yeah. So I have 17 questions of the day.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I have 2. Do you want a more serious one or a more like fuck Jill one?
Oh, do the serious one.
The serious one?
Yeah.
How much do you fucking hate Jill? No, I'm kidding. So with your background that you have with psychology, is that okay? Just wanted to make sure.
Is that what you do?
That was my question. I'm kidding. What do you think is going on with Fraser? This is what I wrote. I'm just gonna read it verbatim. It's literally damned if you do, damned if you don't. Barbie put on a fake smile and he doesn't like it. She doesn't smile, he doesn't like it. So he literally wants her to be genuinely happy when he gets angry if she complains or says something about how she is treated.
I know. I feel the same. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to put myself in his shoes on like how he would answer why. I think he would say, I go to her and she's really cold towards me. And he's taking it personally, where like that was a super overwhelming charter, if not one of the most overwhelming charters we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And they're down a stew, so they have 3. And Barbie feels a little bit like Zandy's getting preferential treatment, which I think is a little bit valid. Like if you really see, again, we talked about the yoga, we talked about the yoga last week, but then it showed us a part where he told Zandy to go down, which I don't know. That might not have anything to do with it. Like Zandy she went to bed earlier. She's going to get up earlier. Hopefully that's how it works. But
yeah, I have some thoughts on that, but go ahead.
Yeah. And then, Zandy kind of gets to make these backhanded comments, like the one about the napkin. That one kind of pissed me off. Like,
Yeah.
girl, I know who you can like do a napkin. And Barbie's like, actually, Barbie even handled that probably better than I would, because Barbie's like, okay, I really don't want to hear those comments right now. When I would have been like, bitch, I was the one cleaning the entire boat while you were doing yoga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, I think the short answer is he's taking it too personally. And I think in the back of his mind, he knows he likes Zandy more, and he is giving her the slightest bit of preferential treatment.
I think he is, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but I think he is just, I want the respect from you, but he doesn't earn it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I said that last week, but that's just how he is, and I don't like it.
I know. It's not like blatant, like I'm going to disrespect you and you respect me. It's not that bad, but you're right. I think he's a little bit jaded by last season, which we didn't even watch, but he brings that up a lot, where he's like, I was stepped all over and I let things go too far last season, and I think he's overcorrecting now.
Yeah.
Or like
Just like Toomey.
yes, in a way. In a way, not nearly as blatant as Toomey, but
Yeah, she was upfront about
yeah.
it.
But he what was the last, I was going to make one more point. Yes, he came in like, everybody respect me because I'm the chief stew. And that's that.
And that's the worst type of manager ever.
I know.
Like, this is my title. Someone gave it to me.
Yeah.
You need to respect me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Again, I would not compare him to Toomey as like, because she was worse.
Yeah,
But,
she was.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at, where he's just not working to communicate with Barbie too, on a level of like, yes, they are like not super compatible personalities. Sometimes you have to work with people that you're not compatible personality wise with.
Yeah.
Like there's this girl I work with. I'm not even going to say names, but like, we just wouldn't be friends. But am I
Yeah.
nice to her and work well with her? Yeah. Because I have to.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that.
Well, that's like we have this podcast and I fucking hate you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a working relationship.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm kidding.
I was thinking, no, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was actually thinking about my one coworker that I hope, I don't know if she listens, but I'm going to shout her out because I'm not talking about her, and her name is Shay.
Hi, Shay.
And I just don't want Shay to think I'm talking bad about her, because it's not her, and she should know that. But I want to be sure, okay? I'm not sure if Shay listens, but if you do, girl, tell me you listened. Then I'll know. All right, let's get into this. We took a lot of time on the questions. The topics we have for today are Chef's continued struggles, which my heart just goes out to him. I do not know why. We'll talk about it more, but like I don't know why I'm so like sensitive towards people being mean to him. Like
Because he's a nice guy.
and he's genuinely trying his hardest.
Yeah.
And I think we rarely have chefs like that.
Yeah, that has kind of been the theme the last few seasons of like, here's a likable chef.
Yes.
We're like, holy shit, we like him.
Like the girl on I can't remember her name now, but the last
Zarina.
well, we liked her, yes. But there was also a girl chef on the last season of Sailing Yacht, which we didn't cover. That was right before we started the podcast. I don't did you watch the last season of Sailing Yacht?
I don't think I watched all of it.
But the girl
Because we started the podcast.
yes. But the chef, she was awesome, likable. And then who was the last one? Who was on Med last?
Jack.
Yes, and we like Jack.
Yeah, we love Jack.
See, that's been the theme. It's like they strayed away from the Bens and the
Buttholes.
what's his name? Ben and God, what's his name? The one I'm thinking of.
I can see his face,
yes.
but I can't think of his damn name. But he's a douchebag.
Adam.
Adam. There it is.
Yep, Adam.
Yeah, he dated like
Every single stew.
every single like chief stew.
Yes.
Was just an asshole.
Oh, man. Also, the Barbie and Fraser drama, which we kind of already talked about. And then the new stew, Paris, which is not huge. I mean, she doesn't show up for, like, most of the episode, but I figured we'd talk a little bit about her.
Yeah, and she's kind of involved in the main drama of the episode.
Yep. So, we start where we left off. The fact that fucking Jill told Chef to do all this sushi for literally no one.
Walk the plank, Jill. Walk the fucking plank. Just leave.
I'm just dead that, like, she literally asked for all this sushi that no one wanted. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm not sure no one wanted it, but, like, Jill didn't want it and the primary didn't want it. So, like, why did you order it?
I absolutely loved the editing where it was like she would complain about something and then it would be like, bing, and under her name would be like, not the primary. And I'm like, thank you, editors, but fuck you, producers.
Yeah.
Get her off this boat. We don't like her.
She, because at dinner, which we're basically at right now, right? They say, oh, let's serve the primaries first. And Jill's like, okay, or something like that. What happened? Oh, no, they're like, let me ask. He made 3 different things for dinner. Remember? It was like vegetarian, curry, tofu something, stir fry something.
It was chicken pad thai, tofu pad thai, vegetable curry.
Yes. And so they could pick. And she's like, oh, I want 2. And they're like, okay, let's start with the primaries. What did the primaries want? And Jill's like, oh, I want this. Like,
well, no, yeah, she did that. But then she was like, the primary wanted like half and half of everything, which is like, it's fine. It's already cooked. And Jill's like, yeah, you can just do it. You can just do that.
Like, Jill, no one asked you.
Yeah, and it's like, shut the fuck up. But then she's like, she asked for, I'm not 100% sure, but I thought she ordered chicken pad thai, but I think I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't even pick up on that because it didn't even matter because they said all the food was cold and it was just bad.
Yeah, it ended up being not that great and cold.
Yeah. Well, so yeah. Well, the first note I have was Fraser has no faith in Chef anymore. And I'm like, cut the guy some slack.
Yeah.
These dietary restrictions are so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I would love, whose take I would love on this is like Chef Jack or a previous chef.
Yeah.
Like, I would, because me and you can sit here and be like, it was really tough, but I'd like to know if Chef Jack like looks at that and he's like, no, like I could have handled it better. I want it because, or he could be like, no, that's actually really fucking hard. And anybody would have struggled in that.
Well, I think what they would say, not a chef, I cook sometimes. There's 2 pad thai dishes, which are, you can use the same sauce, the same vegetables, but you still have to cook the chicken and the tofu. But then you have vegetable curry that takes forever. Mm-hmm. Not forever, but there's a lot of ingredients that you have to cook different ways. And he should have just stuck with one thing.
Yeah. Yep. and he said the same thing. He tried to do too much, and
Plus sushi.
oh yeah, requested by Jill. But I know that, and that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I would really like another chef's take on it. That, and you're right. Another chef would probably have said, "Don't do that many things.
Yeah,
That's
that would
how
be
you get
their first point.
like one with meat, one without, a safe meat like chicken. You know what I mean? So anyway, Jill complains about the dinner not starting at 8:30 at 8:20. So that's the start. She wanted to make sure that
Walk the plank.
yeah. Yep, when I said Fraser says let's start with the primaries. Guess who speaks up? None other than Jill. We're almost done with Jill, and I'm so happy about it. I was like just writing anything that came to my mind with my notes. Sometimes I do it this way, and sometimes I'm a little bit more organized.
I do it that way all the time.
Yeah. I said, because when they first served the food, I was like, that food looks like it kind of sucks ass. And then right after I had that thought in my head, it was like Captain, and he's like, yeah, the food was really bad.
I mean, it looked like something that like I could cook.
Right. That's exactly my thought. I was like, that looks like something we would cook that would be like, this is pretty good. But like if I ate it,
you're not insulting me, right?
No, I'm actually talking about like me and Brad too. Like that would be something where it would be like, this is a good dinner, right? It wouldn't be like mind blowing. But if I ate that on a yacht, I'd be like, I could have made this in my kitchen.
Yeah.
In my mediocrity.
If you give me anything that I can cook, I'm gonna throw hands at my sister. What are you, Luna?
No, I did accidentally snort there for a second.
I do that sometimes.
Then I just decided to lean into it because I was like, well, I gotta call myself out.
Otherwise, the comments would be like, Lane, you're so funny.
Your sister won't stop snorting. What's she doing there?
No, just the first part. I'm kidding.
Get her off the podcast. We just want to listen to you
It's
talk.
just me talking about below deck. Can you imagine? Just me like, yeah, so Dylan's a dumbass. Anyways, dinner was there was some food.
It'd be better if Peanut was just sitting in this chair. My cat.
They would notice him like 20 minutes in if they ever made it past the first 10 seconds.
Because he blends in. He's a very black cat. That's so funny you say that because actually the other night in bed, Brad and I are laying there and our dresser is right in front of our bed and Peanut was laying on the dresser, our cat, and he's like, Peanut is so black.
He is all black.
And I'm like, you're right. He really is. Like, he's, you know, that like blackest black color that they've decided is like the blackest of the blacks, like paint color or just color in general.
Sure.
You know, that's a thing, right? I feel like that was like a recent thing where they're like, this is the blackest black that's ever been.
I don't watch the news.
Anywho, we said that he is that. He's that shade of black. All right. Let's get past dinner because I just feel bad for Chef. So, the chocolate souffle, though, seemed like it hit.
Yeah, it kind of made up for everything.
Well, it didn't make up for everything, but...
Well, we didn't have to hear from the guests anymore.
That's true. They, like...
Kind of put
it on bed. Captain, yeah.
I think he put some sleeping pills in that thing.
He might have.
Smart.
You know.
Smart move.
That is true. That's a smart move. So this is just like a random thing that was thrown in there like during dinner that Dylan comes on our screens again.
Why?
And he says, I get hit on by so many guys. Girls.
I gotta find this.
Okay, you wrote something down?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Because I have a hot take that I don't think it's offensive. I don't mean it to be offensive, but I do have a hot take on this.
Do you want the exact quote?
Yours?
No, the exact quote.
Oh, sure,
of what
yeah.
he said,
Yeah, give us the
and
quote.
then you can hit us with your hot take.
Okay, yeah. We'll just go for it.
If I find a girl really attractive and I see her in a bar, I would go and fall on the floor, do some push-ups, stand up and do that.
Oh, God.
Ew.
Ew.
I want to shave my eyebrows off. That's what he did. That wasn't
Okay.
me doing it.
That was the actual quote, but then is that the same time he said, I get hit on by so many guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
I think that Dylan's trying really hard to be straight.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and
Oh my
this
God.
is not...
I couldn't bring this up myself as a straight white male, but yeah.
And again, I'm not meaning it to be offensive. I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way. It's just it's just something I see. It's an observation
Yeah.
that I would make. But if someone told me like, no, I'm not, I'd be like, okay, great. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I'll take your word for it. But that's just my observation.
Yeah. The gaydar is peaking.
It's not even so much the gaydar. It's that he's so bad with girls.
Yeah, he's really bad.
Like, so bad. And
Yeah.
also the way he, like, I was going to say the way he looks. I didn't mean it like that. It's like the way he presents himself in a way. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I actually hope that's not the case because Dylan, it's fine. Whatever you want. Kyle is a perfect example of that, right? Like, but that's what I see. It's like, I guess it's truly just because he's so bad with girls.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is you don't want him to be hiding the fact that he's gay.
No, but I also like don't want, I hate that that's offensive too. Like not to like get on my soapbox, but it's like, why should that be offensive? Like our society has deemed that like, oh, Dylan seems gay as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's an observation I'm making, like that.
Yeah.
That like you all have like these, when you meet somebody, these, oh, I think that they're this way. That's what I'm saying about Dylan. It's not that it's like an insult because it shouldn't even be an insult in the first place, if that makes sense.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, that person seems gay. That should not be an insult or anything bad. It would just be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they are, or they're not.
Like, I think this person's gay, and if they're not, they shouldn't be offended because being gay is not
Yes.
looked down upon.
Yes.
It's not bad.
That's my like bone to pick whenever something like this comes up because it's like, oh, it's such a touchy subject, but it's like it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It's only because we've deemed that through history as being bad, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's like being like, I think that girl's natural hair color is brown, and it's like, oh my God, why would you say that? Like, oh, that's just something I thought, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so now it shows a little clip of Sunny and Ben, and they're really good, and it's just not going to stay that way.
No.
She's like, I really trust him, and we're like, girl, the reason they're showing us this is because something's going to happen.
Yeah. It's getting predictive. Is that a word?
Predictable.
Predictive.
So, I don't know if you had this English teacher in high school, but every time we'd say a word that wasn't a word, she'd put it on her walls. Like, she'd, like, type it on a piece of paper.
Didn't like her.
Miss, do you have her?
No, I just didn't like her.
Oh, so you never had her as a teacher?
No, I wasn't smart enough.
Well, that's why you didn't like her, probably.
Yeah.
You're just mad at everybody that was in the class.
I'm mad at the world.
How did you know that was her, though? Did you see her classroom?
Yeah, I was trying like hell to get into her classes, but she's like, "You're a dummy,
But
dummy
no,
little guy. You don't know where a comma goes."
she'd do that, and so then I actually went and worked at my old high school for a couple years.
And you beat the shit out of her?
No, the words are still there. She's just adding to it. So like her walls are covered with these made up words that people have.
With her students' mistakes?
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
funny.
weird thing.
It's funny. You shouldn't. It's funny.
It's not funny.
You're being too negative today.
Well, most of them are from me, okay? I was in her class for a day.
Barbie's feeling defeated. We talk about that. That's kind of a theme throughout.
Yeah.
We're finally into.
She's not feeling good.
No, she's feeling defeated.
She's having a day.
Then they get into the docking, and I'm gonna be honest. The whole dramatic docking thing,
Yeah.
it's getting old. Like they really play all of these up like it's the most difficult docking, and I'm like, okay. go to commercial.
I
Everything
know.
is fine. It gets docked.
And
like,
if you think about it, it's like, oh my God, it's so fucking windy. It's like boats have been dealing with wind since they were invented.
yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh my God, we're going to crash.
No,
then
it's
they're, like,
definitely just
throwing
for the
ropes
show.
out. Yeah.
But I think they should tone it down. Like, in order for us to be on edge with the docking, you can't do it every single time you dock.
Yeah, you got to crash into something.
No, you have to have some easy dockings once in a while
Crash into
too,
something.
to make us feel like it's believable, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel the same way.
The one thing Barbie did do at the end when they're saying bye to the guests, when Fraser like reaches over and he's like, good job, or like, I really appreciate you or something, and she's like, I was like, oof, she was actually cold towards him in front of everybody.
Well, what do you expect?
I know, no, I'm not saying she's wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that is something that I would have been like, if I'm gonna criticize her for anything, like, that's what I would say. Like, okay, that was a blatant, like, I'm not happy with Fraser. Not saying it wasn't justified, again, because, again, she feels like we've already talked about the preferential treatment and things like that, but I was just like, oof, like, being cold to him in front of everybody is like a statement in a way.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point because, yeah, that's the difference. No one would ever do that to Captain, but she would do that to Fraser because he hasn't
right,
earned her respect.
Exactly.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, yep. That's kind of the point I was making. So the guests
Sorry,
leave.
I'm like, like my brain is just talking. That doesn't make sense either. Anyways.
Sometimes at the end of a day, like,
Yeah, this is a late episode, by the way, if you haven't figured that out yet.
yeah. Sometimes at the end of the day, I'll like not put as much effort into forming sentences. And Brad will say something and I'm like, I'm done trying to form sentences today.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, I'm so tired of trying to find the correct way to say something.
Yeah, and I went to the office today, and I fucking hate the office. So.
Yeah, we usually don't record on Tuesday. It's Tuesday right now.
It's Tuesday.
And we
It's
usually don't record on
fucking
Tuesdays
Tuesday.
because I have to leave. And we won't be able to record the rest of this week. So
Going to Madrid.
no, not there. New York City. Which for like 2 days.
Kind of gave you an out there, but now they know where you're going to be.
And New York City is such a small town. I bet they'll be able to find me.
It's smaller than the town we live in. Honestly, from what I've read from the 1822.
Honestly. So Melinda, who's the primary, I have Melinda, you're lying. You did not have a good time. We know you hated Jill too.
No, they were like, I really hope I'm not paying for this because that sucked.
We had to act like we liked this girl who isn't even our friend.
Yeah, they're like, we're part-time actors. Like, can we just have our $40 now?
I would act. I would. Oh wait, did we already answer this question? Like, would you, if Below Deck said, "Hey, you can come on the show and be on the yacht and it's free as long as you let Jill on," would you do it? Because I would. I might be backtracking because I feel like we already asked this and I said no, but I would. I could deal with Jill for a free cruise.
Okay, we did have this conversation, and my question was, do I have to pay for travel there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I also have a note for when the guests leave. Mm-hmm. I said, we finally get to find out who the primary guests are. Pretty neat.
That is true. It was the one that didn't like sushi, raw fish.
Yeah, she was like, it's fine. Like we were like really hard with our dietary restrictions.
You didn't have to be, like, I don't know, whatever. Maybe that we won't even get into this.
Well, you can be, but you don't have to be a dick about it. We'll move on.
The tip is $20,000. Was a big letdown, which to me I was like, $20,000 is good, no, but that's more of like a sailing yacht tip because sailing yacht's a smaller boat.
Yeah, or like an average med tip.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so that was the worst tip they've had so far. We knew that was coming. Captain and Chef have a little bit of a talk, and I feel so bad for him because, again, he's just trying so hard. I feel like he's like calling himself a loser, and I just want to give him a hug because now I'm a little bit mad at Fraser because it was like he had Fraser and like he was supporting him and he felt like he had him, and then all of a sudden Fraser's like, this guy sucks.
Yeah. And Fraser was also beating him down every time he went into the galley.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. I was just a little bit upset about that. So
Chef Anthony, we're on your side.
I know.
We're team Chef Anthony.
Yeah. So Kyle's just gonna go spend a couple years with his Native American family in Montana.
Yeah.
That was the most random. I know we talk about how they throw in these random things. That might have been the most random thing.
Yeah.
Kyle is such an interesting person.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really put my thumb down on him.
I think
Can't
it's
really
great.
figure him out.
I know, and I don't need to figure him out, but I'm like, he's just like his own person. Like,
I'd love to have a beer with him.
I know. Yeah. Anyways, Chef, I'm ready for a party, but very sad inside. Did you see my TikTok?
No, I didn't see your TikTok.
I thought it was pretty good. Not my best work ever, but pretty good.
I haven't been on TikTok today because I was in the damn office.
Oh, God forbid he went to the office for a day.
I had to work one day.
But no, he's going to spend some time with his, oh, sorry. I went back to the Native American family in Montana. No, Chef's getting ready for the night out, and he's like, I'm ready for a party, but very sad inside. And I was like, same, Chef.
I have a note somewhere where it's like, Chef dressed like a baller, but he's sad.
But I think it ends up being okay. I think that's really the last we hear of that. So hopefully, like, he picks things up. This was just a little bit of a misstep.
Yeah.
And it's the last we have to hear of it.
I mean,
so
you can't be perfect.
So now let's move on to the news. Stu shows up at dinner, and her name is Paris. I don't want to say big letdown, but they, hyped this up like Ben knew her, and they knew what they were doing, and we fell for it.
We did.
We fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and I was mad at myself because I'm like, Morgan, you fell for that, and you should be able to see past that.
And then, I was like, Morgan, you fell for that, and you should see past that. I was talking to my other friend, Morgan.
I was going to say, like,
I don't call you Morgan.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Can I make one small point before we get into this?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
You sure? Mm-hmm. I'm kidding. So when they're getting out of the van to go to dinner, Dylan, before he gets out, he goes, good energy. And he said it like a coked out multi-level marketing CEO.
Oh, yeah. Multi-level marketing CEO. Or just like those entry-level stock guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He's trying so hard.
But like, what's his goal?
I know. It's like
where's he going?
He's trying so hard, but I don't feel bad for him like I feel bad for Chef.
Does he want to be a part of my triangle? I mean, my family? My pyramid? I mean, my pyramid?
Oh.
I mean, my family?
I know, yeah. I think he just came on and I don't know. He's trying too hard, or this is just who he is, and he just struggles in social situations.
They describe him well. They're like, he's like a puppy. I'm like, yeah.
But not a cute one.
Nah.
Not a Luna, more like a Floyd. So at first I was like, okay, so anyway, the new Stu is Paris. Nobody knows her besides Fraser, and the only reason she knows Fraser is because she dated someone who worked with Fraser before, like a couple seasons ago.
Yep.
That's literally the only connection we have. She's really pretty. And that when she shows up, she makes the comment about how I love mayo, and I'm like, no, another Dylan.
Don't be another weirdo.
It's literally what I thought. I said, oh no, maybe she belongs with Dylan. And then I'm like, as the episode went on, I was like, okay, no, that's not the case. But at first I was like, the mayo comment, no.
Nar.
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 But It's okay. You know, Below Deck was like, hey, say something witty. And then she's like, I like mayo. And they're like, yes, that's great.
I actually wrote a whole paragraph about the whole mayonnaise thing, but
Okay.
I'm not going to say it because I was unhinged
Because
for some reason.
all you did was talk about the SpongeBob episode.
Is
Is-
mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, horseradish isn't an instrument either.
That was good. That's perfect.
And then I just keep thinking of when he fights with Sandy and the owner with the white sedan,
Man,
you left your lights on.
I'm just thinking of him with the trumpet on his neck. Oh, I love SpongeBob.
So the night out goes fine because I don't have any more notes on the night out. I just have basically they go back. Yeah, no, there was really no drama when they went back. All I have is Barbie saying, I'm not sleeping in your bed. I have pressure sheets to Kyle.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that happens between like Paris coming and then like the next day, which is the pool day, which is where a lot of stuff happens?
I have 3 points when they get back to the boat.
Okay.
First point, good thing Zandy has nipple covers on. Her tits were out.
Oh, see, I didn't even notice that. So.
I didn't either. Next point, they went back to the boat. I may have had a couple beers.
Okay.
My last point, oof, to all of that, in quotes, good dog, woof, woof, unquote, fucking oof. I believe that was the Barbie and Kyle situation that I was speaking about.
What Barbie and Kyle situation?
Oh, when he's laying in Barbie's bed and Barbie's like, get down, go to your bed, which is like the bed under hers.
Yes.
And then, yeah, it wasn't me saying woof woof. I want to clear that up really quick. But he goes down into that bed. Barbie says good dog, and he says woof woof. And then I said fucking oof.
Okay, I missed that whole thing. So I literally thought you made up all of that stuff. Like good dog, woof woof, oof. Like
Yeah, that would be really weird.
that would be very weird.
Yeah.
That's funny though.
That's a deep hole I would have had to dig myself out of. Nobody tell her that didn't happen in the episode, okay?
So the next day is the pool day.
So anyways.
And it looks great. It looks like my perfect day off. Like to have my
Yeah.
own private pool with a slide next to the water. That is everything I want because I don't want to swim in the ocean unless it's like crystal clear,
And I
calm
can
water.
see the sharks.
Right. And I can see the sharks. But a pool next to the ocean, nothing better.
Chef's kiss.
So now I'm like, you know what? Because I did in the middle. We'll get into all the drama in a second. But in the middle of all the drama, I had this thought. I was like, you couldn't keep me off that water slide. And if someone was trying to fight with me, I'd be like, not today, because there's a water slide.
Be like, talk to you later, loser.
I do not have time. This is a fight we can have when we're working.
And we don't have a fucking water slide there?
And there's no water slide.
Yeah.
Because there's a water slide here and I have to go down it at least 50 times. You know what it made me think of is the Tim Robinson sketch with the zip line.
I haven't watched the newest season.
That's one of his best. It's like a Bachelor episode. It's literally the premise of the sketch is it's a Bachelor episode and there's a pool with a zip line. And all he wants to do is do the zip line. But it's obviously way funnier than just that because it's Tim Robinson. But
Yeah,
he's on this zip line like 50 times. And that's what I felt like. I was like, that would be me. I'd have to go down the water slide 50 times.
I know. I just thought of like you being on Below Deck and the producers are like, hey, come on, come down.
No.
We got to do an interview.
I'd be like, no, I'll do it later.
Get down here. Get down here
Or
now.
I would
and
do
you're
it.
like, nope.
Or I would do it like as quickly as possible and be like, that's good, back to the water slide.
You'd be like, yeah, fuck those people.
Yep.
And you're running away from the producer interview.
Exactly. Because anybody can lay on a beach. Again, anybody can lay on a beach or a boat or whatever. You don't always get a water slide.
No, almost never.
Almost never.
Almost
And
never.
if there is one, almost always made for kids, but that's not even the worst part. There's kids there usually.
Yeah.
Which is...
And you're not going to be that weirdo.
No.
That's, 4 feet taller than the kids.
That is the tragedy of being an adult. Is that, like,
Yeah.
anywhere you go with kids, it's a little creepy. But you just want to have fun.
I know.
But it's
And
not.
like you kick a couple of them and you go down the slide and everyone's mad at you. It's bullshit.
I know. Hashtag water slides for adults. Let's make it a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into the Barbie and Fraser drama. It's not too much, but it starts with, I don't even know exactly how it starts, but he makes it. Oh, no, I do know how it starts. You see them talking separately too. Like Barbie's talking with Ben, Fraser's talking with...
Paris.
Who?
Paris.
No. Oh, maybe it was Paris. Was it Paris at first? Yeah, you're right. It was. You're right. So they're talking separately and he's like, look, you can see she's talking about me. I'm like, oh my gosh, so this is going to be a thing. So then later they are together and he does say like something like, oh, you were talking about me or whatever. And she owns up to it. And I'm like, great, this is great. Like we can work this out. The whole premise is basically like, Barbie says, if I speak up, I'm a bitch. If I don't, I'm passive aggressive. And that's like what we've already talked about. That's the overarching idea is like Barbie feels like I can't tell you how I feel because then you're telling me I'm a bitch. If I don't say how I feel and I'm not this overly happy, bubbly person, then I'm being passive aggressive and I'm not being nice and whatever. So it's like you said at the beginning, he only wants her to be like fake, bubbly, nice all the time.
No, he wants her to be genuinely happy with him not treating her respectfully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just can't get on board with that. Like I said,
No, I can't either.
I'm not like a hater, of him. Like I think he can do a good job, but I'm more on Barbie's side with this because I just don't see her doing anything that is out of line, if I'm being honest.
Well, the thing is, she's always she would love to speak her mind, but she wants to keep her job because she's third on the totem pole. She does a fantastic job from what we've seen, but Fraser doesn't value that. He values, yes, sir.
Yeah. And he wouldn't say that, but I think that is what he wants, just no drama whatsoever or whatever.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. So basically all that happens. Barbie is crying on the beach. Paris comes and talks to her, which is what we were talking about. Like, that's really respectful of her and honestly a little bit brave of her because this is a new...
you could be fucking yourself.
Right, exactly.
Like Fraser to Paris, he could be completely in the right about to fire her. Anyone that gets near that is gone, and she goes and talks to Barbie.
Yeah, I know. So good for her. That's why I said I think I like her so far. She took that chance, and maybe it's just because she's a good person. Fraser says he's done. I don't think Captain Carey would let him fire her at this point, which is basically what happens. Not to get too far ahead, but on the coming up on, like, Fraser is trying to get her fired, but she does make it another charter because we do see her at another dinner. So, like...
True. Good catch.
Yep. So
Good
it's like,
catch.
It's not really a spoiler because I just put that together by the upcoming, the coming up on, but we do see her at another dinner. So she makes it another charter.
We're actually employed by Bravo now, so we get to see all the episodes.
No, it's just
the
us.
boat sinks, guys.
It's just me doing more research than I ever do, honestly, which is just this much more.
Yeah. No, we're employed by Bravo.
So the last thing I wanted to, well, there's two other things. Dylan tries to talk to Paris, and it's hilarious because she's like, crikey, this is cringe, mate.
Yeah.
She calls him cringe to his face, and I'm like,
that's rough.
That is rough. To be called cringe to your face is a whole nother level. Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing if he comes up to her and she's like, ooh, that was cringy after he leaves, but she said it to his face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dylan is, I wrote it down. Have you ever watched Kill Tony?
No.
It's a comedy thing. I know you know, but comedy thing, a bunch of professional comedians bring on very new stand-up comics, and most of them suck. And that is Dylan. He thinks he's the funniest dude in the world, but then we'll go up there and be like, you guys ever eat apples? Why is no one laughing?
Yeah. It's just rough. And
It's
I
rough.
hope we see him get better, but I don't know if we will.
No.
She's like, if he was mute, he'd get a lot more action.
Yeah.
That's,
Like,
feel
just
bad for
learn
him.
sign language and pretend you're deaf.
or just don't talk. Period. The last thing is Ben being a little too touchy-feely,
Yeah.
which we knew was going to happen. I don't know what to say
Lord.
about it.
Not good. You can't even pull, like, oh, I'm an Aussie. Like,
Well,
that's
and
a
that's
little
probably
weird.
when he's probably just going to say like it meant nothing or whatever, but it's something if he's basically putting it out there for her to make a move back,
Yeah.
which is so shitty of him.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what we're talking about. Like, I don't think she'll do it, but he's riding that line right now of like, oh, if she doesn't do anything back, it was just me being friendly. If she
Yeah.
does, then I'm going to hook up with her or be with her because I think she's hot. Like,
Yeah. That is exactly what he's doing.
so, and that's
I've
just
seen it
shitty.
1,000 times.
But yeah, and I'm still like Team Sunny. Like, I think I like her and she doesn't deserve that. So
Yeah.
we have about 7 episodes left. I'm counting down from when they told us like 10 episodes left. So we'll see if I'm right. I have 7 episodes left after this.
Okay.
And anything else you want to bring up on like the coming up on?
Let me just read through all of my notes. I actually haven't really looked at it. No, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, they leave a cliffhanger if Barbie or Chef is gonna leave.
Oh, do they have
about
a cliffhanger with Chef?
Yeah, I think it's pretty quick. I can't remember what it is, but might as well add to the drama.
I know. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you like whether he makes it the whole season. If I had to bet, I'd say he does. I'd say he probably picks it up and but he needs support. I think maybe we're just not seeing it, but we're not seeing him get the support that other chefs have gotten from like crew. So
Yeah.
I think that's what he needs. And like I said, Fraser was like so on board with let's help Chef out. He's so busy, whatever. And then the next is like a 180.
He's
So
like, you have dishes
yeah,
after you cooked a meal?
yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it gets better. But
Yeah.
do you have a secret word?
I don't.
I do. Eclipse. Because of the eclipse.
Eclipse.
Which was really cool. If you guys saw it, it was really cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was cooler than I thought, I think I was like most people are. I was like, oh, yeah, it's cool for people that like stuff like that,
Yeah, those nerds.
But no, it was really cool. We didn't have we had like 90% coverage where we're at. We didn't get the total coverage. But it was cool. We looked through our dad's welding helmet because we didn't have any glasses.
Yeah.
So when you looked through the welding helmet, you could see the moon. And I was like, that is pretty cool.
It worked pretty well.
Yeah. Luckily, because we didn't have any of those glasses they were giving out to everybody.
Yeah, where do we get our glasses?
I know. Dang it. But it worked. So eclipse is our secret word. Yeah, we have about 7 episodes left. We're more than halfway. And keep liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that jazz.
All that jazz.
Anything else?
That's it from me.
Okay. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.